and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want a chair?
No, I'm good.
Everyone else got a chair?
There's one over here.
Okay. Is a workshop. There's no votes. We're not doing anything like that. We don't have motions or anything like that. And since it is a workshop, there is no public comment on this. So who wants to start?
I will.
Okay.
So we probably should talk about the water study we have and the quote or for a new study.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm wondering, do we have a town engineer that we?
Yes, that's
It is them because I don't remember.
No, it's not on the organizational.
it's not on. That's who we. Was it last summer? Who we contracted with to start Water 13, and instead of starting Water 13, he sent us that.
Okay, so I guess my only question is, and I'm not an engineer, so I don't know, but if the other study was done by MRB and most of the town water lines or water districts were done by Paul Chatfield, and who's now, I guess, part of MRB, would it not be beneficial to at least get a quote from them and see maybe they don't have to recreate as much of a wheel that CPL does? Or, I mean,
I don't know.
and my only other concern is I think that CPL is the engineer for the stamp project, and if that's the case and we're like in a legal suit with them,
They were a lawsuit.
do we want to get involved with a firm that's part of that project?
I can ask Kathy. They're representing Stamp?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
they've been for years, quite a few years.
What's the name of our engineer?
Well, that's who
That's what
we've
he's saying,
currently been
CPL.
using. That's who the board voted on last year to do the water study for 13. Jason came in and gave us a briefing, remember? He's gonna come in actually Tuesday for a briefing for us.
So that was just for the 6 houses on 31, and then finishing out the water on the east end of the town.
Yeah, that was Water 13 with their
Yeah.
proposal.
So
Remember,
when-
he came
when
in
it-
and gave us that proposal for like 12 or 13 million dollars.
Yeah, so when did that get switched over to?
He just sent that to us when I sent it to you guys.
No, I think he's asking, when did you switch from MRB? Because MRB, or well, not MRB, sorry. Paul Chatfield has been the engineer here for many, many years. And what was the reasoning for changing over to CPL?
Jason Foote was brought on before I came on the board. He came in and gave us that proposal.
Yeah, I'm talking about switching from doing water 13 to 6 houses on 31, and then to have them doing the study for the Royalton.
Nothing switched over yet. That was the proposal he sent.
Yeah, but when did we didn't, I never knew we ever
We didn't
requested.
We didn't ask any. What he said, instead of us spending the town's money, if you guys are going to switch to Royalton, we need to do or if you guys are going to bring Royalton online, you got the same study I do. We need to figure out which way we're going to go with that before we waste the town's money on that. I said, okay, fine, come in and talk to us Tuesday for the board meeting.
I would personally be curious to see what MRB would quote for the same job. Would we get would they be able to use some of their previous information
Okay.
and not have to do as much work? Would it save us some money? And maybe not, but I think it's worth the ask.
Okay.
Jeff? Steve?
I don't think there's an issue with looking into having more than one group on it. I mean, we got to get a couple quotes, and we get a couple quotes. I mean, we do that on everything else, so I don't have an issue with that.
Okay. I'm just hoping that maybe we can save a little if they don't have to do quite as much work.
And we have no idea what's changed since 2019 on on the
Exactly,
Royalton side.
exactly.
We've already got a contract with Royalton. We've always had a contract with Royalton. We've never used their water. The contract with Royalton was for, if Medina went down, we could use their water for emergency water. So,
Yeah, but we weren't hooked up to Royalton, were we? Cause that's why we were dumping all that.
we've always been hooked up to Royalton
Then
On-
why were we
90
dumping
On
all that
Freeman
water?
Road?
on Freeman Road.
Just on Freeman.
It's always been hooked up to Royalton, yeah. What they do is they open up the valves right there to flush the lines.
But the contract with them was in an emergency if something happened and
Yeah.
Medina can't supply.
Yeah.
So doesn't that put us in violation with Medina?
No, we're not required, Jeff Clark went through this last year. We're not required to buy anything from Medina. It's just that we're allowed to buy from Medina. Our water contracts say we're allowed to buy from Medina and Royalton. Because they both come from Niagara.
Do you
County.
have, I have not seen, I don't think, do
No,
you have the contracts between Medina and Shelby that we can see
I have-
Okay.
Yeah.
this week? Is it something you can email or is it hard?
Yeah,
hard copy?
I might have them electronically. I got hard copies sitting on my desk.
Okay.
Actually, I gotta meet with, there she is, right there, Jess. We gotta meet, talk about water again. Yeah, I'll ask if we can do that with MRB, find out if we can do that,
Okay.
what we can do with that.
no, as of now, we don't have a engineering report whatsoever,
On what?
except, getting the water from, Royalton.
No, we don't have anything right now.
Yeah, all right.
What we have is that from 2019, where they said there wasn't enough water coming from Royalton, so.
And we have not done anything on Johnson Road yet, the connection between
No.
Medina and them.
That all depends on if they say there's enough pressure.
Okay.
So there's not currently any water coming from Royalton, the valve's shut off over there?
They've been doing pressure tests.
Okay.
Royalton Water Department and our water department checking pressures around different parts of town.
When but we are doing another study before we move forward.
Oh, nothing will be done till the study's done,
Okay.
so.
So when that study is voted on though, and move forward with it, that's gonna be charged to out of town, Shelby out of town, right? Not Shelby.
Yeah.
Townwide, okay. And any legal fees that we have or will incur will also go to Shelby out of town.
Well, that's covered by the,
Water districts, right?
water districts cover most everything, but,
So it'll be split.
because this is
Um,
for the board and for the town, this is the general fee that it covers a lawyer. This isn't extra.
Oh, I thought she said I thought Kathy said that, like, contract negotiation.
She has to write up a contract, yeah.
Okay,
Royalton and Niagara Water are working on a contract now, just to re-up the one we have with them for purchase price.
okay.
They're selling to us at $3 per thousand. And there will be 2 rate increases in 25 and 27, 20 cents each, imposed by Niagara County.
So do you have something from Royalton that tells us what they're proposing?
Not yet, no.
Okay, so can you tell me what you just said again, so
$3 per thousand
from Royalton?
from Royalton, and then in 2025 it goes to 320 something, and then 2037 it goes up another 20 or 25 cents. I got it written down from the supervisor from Niagara County.
Okay,
Do they get any, results from any pressure testing yet, or? I mean,
I haven't gotten anything yet from. That's why Jason's gonna come in and talk to us. Propose whatever he's gonna propose, I don't know.
okay, can we go back to
Sure.
this one? Okay, so in here, there's multiple places where it talks about needing a water tank and pumps. What has, I'm sorry,
Oh, I thought that study with the water tank was from the 2019.
it is,
Yeah.
and that's what I wanna try to
Because if they go with the new water study, we may not even need
well,
it.
that's where I guess what have you heard or you guys know from your conversations with Royalton that makes us think that it's gonna be different and we're not gonna need some of this additional infrastructure?
In my meetings with Royalton supervisor and the water superintendent, MRB never contacted Royalton on pressures, what they're capable of, any of that. I mean, the study, they're estimating our cost of water from Royalton. They didn't even have the actual cost that Royalton would charge us. So it's an estimate is what that study is. So we've got actual $3 per thousand now. We know what they're gonna charge us for water.
But that isn't even as bothersome to me as what the report says the infrastructure needs are. I mean, and I understand there could be some difference, but it's gonna be a pretty big difference if we go from this to really nothing.
Oh, yeah,
Do you,
no, I agree with you.
what did they tell you though that leads you to believe?
The main pump for, what, across from, on John, where, you know what Johnson's Country Store is? What's that road?
Robinson Road.
That's where the main pump is for Niagara County.
Okay,
That comes right in the Royalton. And the water superintendent said he can turn that pump up and supply everything we need. Right now, we're supplying the town of Shelby out of that water tower, 3-inch line at 70 pounds of pressure. We have 3 pumps up there. One pump runs all the time. Second pump kicks in when it needs, and the third one when it needs. So we supply the whole town of Shelby on one 3-inch line at 70 pounds. We got a 12-inch main on Freeman with 100 pounds of pressure. And they can turn that up, is what he said. He goes, you won't have any issues. That's why we need to talk to Jason. If Jason says it's not feasible, then we don't do it. We always have to buy water from Medina, because there's a part of the town that has to be supplied.
and that's the section on Maple Ridge Road?
Maple Ridge, everything north of Maple Ridge. On the west end of town, down, what's his name?
Oh.
He's on the planning board. The guy that grows the mums.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
well,
so
that whole-
between Royalton and all the way down Maple Ridge Road.
Yeah, that's
Those are all-
connected hard into.
And then Furnace Parkway is also off.
Parkway, yeah. All the stores on 31. And I don't think there's anything else that's connected to Medina for that.
Not for us.
That we couldn't supply.
Right,
The ethanol plant.
Ethanol plants connect, yeah.
They get their,
They get their water right off the main.
and that will never change.
That'll always be.
That'll always stay
Yeah, we're always gonna purchase water from Medina.
for that little bit.
Some of them are direct billed by Medina, and some, we build them through Medina. It just depends on how it's set up.
So they won't use the pumps then up on Maple Ridge Road there, but that are by the current storage tank. We won't use those anymore.
Well, they'd probably still have to use one for Maple Ridge. I'm not sure what they would have to use. Those are town of Shelby pumps. Medina owns would we use them?
Yes, would Shelby use those 3 pumps?
To supply Maple Ridge, probably, I would think. Because otherwise it's gravity fed, so you gotta have one pump running there.
And the feed though out to East Shelby is coming from that
Robinson Road. All the way from Robinson
same
Road.
setup that you're talking about.
That would feed everything.
The 100 pounds of pressure that will come.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're thinking. That's what Royalton is telling us. They won't have any problem doing it. Now, and the thing that's gonna help with that is Dresser's our biggest consumption of water, Dresser Farms. And so he'll be sucking water in for the cows. Then ultimately it would be to, what's the road on the other side of East Shelby?
Town line.
Connecting town line all the way down around. Maybe bringing Sanderson, maybe eventually Martin and all those. If we can loop all that, there's no more dumping anymore in Shelby. It's just one big.
I guess I'm still having a hard time envisioning 100 pounds of pressure, like when you run a garden hose,
Mhm.
right, at the pump, at your faucet, you get plenty of pressure, but if you run that hose 1,000 feet, it starts.
Yeah.
You don't have the same pressure
Yeah.
clearly.
Well, that's why that's why they're doing pressure tests to see what's possible and what's not possible.
And I forget, where did Dale say, just up here close to the, he's not done anything
I haven't
that
talked
way?
to him recently to find out. I don't know. Honestly.
He's at school right now or
Yeah.
something. I don't even know if he's home yet, but
Okay,
Yeah.
they'll probably go around, Linda, and do different tests at different places, maybe like in West Shelby or let's say 63 and maybe on Bryan Road or something. They're gonna do the pressure test at different locations to see if the pressure's gonna hold up or not. That's why we're doing the test to find out. It's not that, that's why.
but we're not just doing it ourselves, we are going to
No.
definitely have an
No.
engineering study done to be sure
Yeah.
that everything, okay.
The determining factor whether or not we can do this is water pressure for East Shelby Fire Department and Shelby Fire Department. They have to have a minimum poundage at the fire hydrants. So as long as they can get that with the water running, then we should be good to go. But that all determines under pressure tests and if it's feasible.
So, you said that Jason from CPL,
Mhm.
he's coming to our meeting on Tuesday to talk
I asked
to
him to
us?
come Tuesday and talk to us, yeah. And even if we don't do the whole town, even if we do half the town, that still, saves the town money, it saves the taxpayer money. So, I think it's a good thing. Even if we only feed the 63, that's still gonna save people money. We'll just have to flat rate it for everybody to prorate to cover everything. Because it's not fair for people west of 63 to get $3 per gallon and everyone else getting $8 per gallon.
$3, I'm sorry, I think I misunderstood. $3 is what you're
Per thousand,
charging the
per thousand.
people? Yeah. is
No,
what-
that's what we're
but
paying.
okay, so then there's gonna be some additional.
Yeah, we're gonna have to add
Okay.
$1 or $1.50 or whatever our rate is for transmission and maintenance. And that's above and beyond the, monthly, what's that called? The service charge?
Sure.
The bill, the loan payment that everyone has to pay. Well, whatever we're gonna do, we need to do it. The cutoff for, funding is June or July this year. The $350 million the state just put up.
Okay, because if you look in this study somewhere, I saw, like, the timing seemed like it was gonna take like a year.
What?
Somewhere in here where MRB called out like what the timing would be around moving forward if we were to have done this back
Mhm.
then,
I think when that study
6 to
was-
9
I
months.
think when that study was done, Linda, everything was up in prices with the COVID and stuff like that. And I think that's why everything got.
Interest rates were a lot lower here though than they are
Mhm.
now. I think here it was like 2.75, let's call it 3%, but now they're probably closer to 8
Mhm.
or 8.5 maybe. So that's, okay, so this, you're saying that this timing could be, he'll lay out timing for us also.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you look at all the different things that have to happen, permits and construction and bidding and so on, you're looking at probably
No,
at least
I
a
was
year.
talking, I'm sorry, I was talking, them applying for.
Okay.
Is the cutoff.
Okay,
Not that everything, that's the deadline for applying for, rural development money. And we're rated as a poverty county, so we should be high up on the list. We're a low income county, so anything we can do to get these pipes in, whatever we can do to get, rural development to help pay for this stuff will be great.
okay.
Just dropping, hold on one second, I forgot a sheet of paper. Just getting rid of these dead end pipes is gonna save the town. Thousands and thousands of dollars. We fixed that broken pipe on the Oak Orchard this past summer. Oh, I don't know if you know about that. Oak Orchard Creek, we got a 12-inch main that runs under the creek. And that had been leaking, we found out it was a leak.
On 63 South there?
63, yeah, right there. And we had 13 water main breaks on East Shelby this year, because that pipe's laid on bedrock. Why, I don't know, but we bought 65 million gallons of water last year. We sold 34 million gallons of water. That's how much water we lost last year in the town of Shelby.
How much did we sell? I'm sorry.
34.5 million. So we flushed 2.3 million, 1.2 million on Freeman. So that's 28.4 million gallons of water we lost last year on leaks in our pipeline.
So you're still in negotiations with the village on
Oh, yeah,
rates?
yeah, just sitting right here.
Yeah,
She's
and-
doing the negotiation.
And then you will or are discussing a reduced rate for flushed water?
No, well, that's part of it. That's gonna be coming on, yeah. That wasn't considered before. I was told no before, but we'll see if we can work that out. Well, you figure we flushed 2.3 million at 597 per thousand. 23,000 dollars last year just for flushing water.
Okay.
So it's all gonna depend on if there's not enough pressure coming from Royalton, we only may be able to do part of the town, the one half of the town. But of connecting Johnson Road, because you got Johnson and what's that road?
Salt Road?
So it works?
No, the one.
West Shelby,
The one you used to live on, the corner there.
Freeman and Mountain Road.
Mountain Road, yeah. Our 12-inch pipe is here. Their 12-inch pipe's on the other side of the road. We just gotta put 20 feet of pipe under the road to connect to them with the vault. And that'll give us a second 12-inch main to feed it down. So basically, you'd have a 12-inch main coming up Johnson, going up Fletcher Chapel to East Shelby, then Freeman to Blair, East Shelby, West Shelby, Sanderson. If we can get water up Martin, down Martin. If we can, with water 13, if we can run a pipeline up Sanderson to the water tower, the water will go right up through the S curves in Shelby, hit Sanderson and Martin, go across Sanderson, connect, because our pipeline dies at the water tower. That's where our pipeline ends. The first house is right there. But if we can connect there, that's a loop through the whole town. It goes right back around. We won't have to dump anymore.
Okay.
That'll save us a ton of money. It'll cut everyone's. You figure right now, what are we charging? We're charging $10 per thousand for the first 4,000 gallons, and then it goes down. The more you use, the less you pay. So, and I think it's like $7 or $8 per thousand is the cheapest we go. Why can't we just make a flat rate? $6 per thousand for everybody. Farmers get, if they're buying however many millions of gallons, give them a bulk rate, $5. As long as we're covering our needs, that's going to save the taxpayers a ton of money. So, if it's doable, I think we should do it.
Okay, so you said we can get, you will look into getting MRB to also give us a.
Yeah, I'll call
quote
Kathy
or something.
tomorrow and see what she says on that. Actually, she might be at court tomorrow. I don't know. She might show up over at the hearing. All right. Yeah, it's all going to depend on what Jason tells us Tuesday. So this might be a moot point. But just fixing, like I said, fixing all those breaks on East Shelby and fixing that one under the creek, that saved us. We saved, I don't remember what Dale said, $40,000 or $50,000 just in the first quarter, water leaking out into Oak Orchard Creek. So that was a good. Yeah, the loss for 2023 was 44% of the water we bought. We lost 44% of the water on breaks. Well, we've got most of those fixed. East Shelby, 2 major breaks on East Shelby. Repair cost was $3,500. They had put 2 new valves in on under Oak Orchard Creek. 2 valves cost 10 grand. $2,000 in pipe, $12,000. Repaired that, and that saved us $50,000. 50,000. The more leaks we can find, the better off we are. Every time those pumps kick on at the water tower, it's pushing that 12-inch main underground, sliding it back and forth on bedrock. And that's where all the cracks are, on the bottom of those pipes. Every time I go to a water main break, the bottom of the pipe.
So when they fix those, are they doing, what do they do to get it off the
Nothing.
They have to
bedrock?
Bed it in sand.
cut it in sand.
If they can. Like this last one, the major one we had, it was laying on bedrock. There's nothing they could do. They put something underneath that. I didn't stay for the end, but they said they took care of it.
So that means it's just gonna happen again if it's still laying on bedrock?
Probably,
The whole line is laying on bedrock. That's the problem. It was never buried in sand originally.
Understood, but is there nothing we can do as we fix it?
Oh, yeah.
oh, as we
Yeah.
fix it, we're
As we
bedding.
fix it,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
asking.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so that's water. Borrego sent me an email today, me and Kathy. They wanna come to the board meeting Tuesday, and I told her no, do it next month, cause we got, Jason coming. And it's too short a notice to set up for Borrego to come.
Did we
People
get,
know who Borrego is.
It's no longer Borrego, the windmills is no longer Borrego, it's New Leaf Energy is the new name of the company. They changed their number. They're,
Were they sold?
no, it's the same people. When I talked to Kathy today, she said it was the same people that called her. I think they just changed the name of the company. But I told her to tell them they can come in April if they want, but not this one. And they wanted to get everything going again because of after the balloon test. And I said, well, we can discuss it, but
and what about, did you get a list of engineers together? We were gonna look at what engineers,
well, I had MRB, I had, what was the other one? What do we use for the walkway bridge? Who, Jess, who do we use for the walkway, the new bridge?
For an engineer?
Yeah, start Labella,
No, we use Barton and LaJudas.
Barton LaJudas, okay, all right. Yeah, I gave her Lubella, Barton LaJudas, and
oh, you already gave these to Kathy?
Yeah, she wanted a bunch of names.
Oh, I thought we were gonna look at it first and decide as a group which ones we wanted to put
Well, she's gonna
forward.
research to see what's good for us and then give us a list of who to choose from. She was gonna get recommendations before we decide what we wanna use.
And who did they, use in Yates? I know you said that they didn't do a lot.
Actually, when I called Simon up, he said they didn't use an engineering firm. Their lawyers beat the windmills, is what he told me. He didn't give me an engineering firm name.
Okay.
He goes, yeah, we didn't use an engineering firm. It was some high-priced lawyer that beat him.
So Kathy will come back with a recommendation on a firm.
Yeah.
But then we
And that's
still,
for Borrego, right? Is that what we were just talking about?
for the wind turbine.
Wind turbine, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She's asking around too to see who's, in the community, who's recommended to do this type work.
But it still will go to a board vote.
Oh, no,
whether
yeah,
you
that's gonna
pick
be
them
up
or not.
yeah, oh, yeah. Actually, no, okay, that was it, yeah, that's it. So that's that on Borrego. Tomorrow there's a court hearing on Stamp. That's at 10 o'clock at Albion, if anyone wants to go. It's between Orleans and Genesee tomorrow. Our lawyer will be there, but he's not presenting anything tomorrow.
And who's our lawyer?
Jeff Allen.
Was he here at one of our
Yeah, he was
board
at one of our
meetings?
meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 10 a.m. at
Shelby.
County Court, yeah.
And he's with, Bond, Shonik and King.
Yeah. They've always been our land use attorneys, yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least that's, have they always been our land use attorneys?
Our land use attorney was,
Spitzer was, and then Bond, and,
I think.
yeah. I had them clean up all the scrap metal that was out back, took that to the dump. We have some equipment that is no longer used. We need to decide if we want to put it up for auction. A 7-foot bush hog goes behind the tractor. 3-point hitch, 2-tine plow. A 6-foot finish mower. The old generator from out back, I don't think it's usable anymore. An old decrepit engine hoist. And a 7-foot salt spreader that I think Medina wants to buy that, so. But, are you guys all right with us listing it at an auction, get as much money as we can for them? I'll tell Dale to list that stuff. There's a couple local auction houses that'll list it, and then they'll do it online or do it here, whichever way.
So there's no use for this stuff anymore?
No, they don't use it. We went around back and I asked Dale and I had all the guys out there, what do we use this for? We don't use that. That's scrap, that's junk. I said, clean it all up.
When was this all purchased?
I don't know. Rusty said it's been there for as long as he's been here. So.
Steve, you agree?
Yeah, I think it's all right. I mean, the finishing mower we bought a long time ago back. Oh my God! I mean, they were going to use it on the ball fields.
What's a finishing mower?
It's towed behind the lawnmower.
Yeah.
It's just a wider one.
I think we looked at it the time we were out there, but we probably just didn't know that it was a finishing mower. It was over by that
As opposed to what though? A finishing mower versus a regular mower, what, I don't.
They bought the finishing mower because it was so much bigger, like a 6-foot cut.
Okay,
And then they were mowing the ball fields with it.
Okay.
At ball fields at West Shelby and then East Shelby at the fire department.
okay,
And they pulled it behind with one of the little tractors or something like
Okay,
that.
so
Take time up to mow.
okay,
That was quite a while ago.
Yeah, they just call it a finishing mower because you have the brush hog or a chain. It's like a regular lawnmower, just a bigger one that they tow something.
okay.
Does that include those salt spreaders out there that were purchased? I think you bought them out of Vermont. They was going to put them on the back of the trucks.
I think those are in the back of the trucks right now.
No, these are steel ones. Yeah, they're sitting out in the back.
Yeah, they're keeping one. Because I asked Rusty about it today. The best one they kept because they have to replace the one in one of the trucks, and the other ones were rusted out, so they scrapped them out. They were gone. They couldn't even weld them. And then the stainless steel spreader that's under the shed. You probably saw that when she took you out there.
The one over on the
Yes.
wing two
Yeah.
there, the
Yes.
little one.
Yes.
That's what the Village of Medina says they're interested in buying that from us. So that's good. We can get some money off of that.
Which truck would that fit in if we kept it?
Probably the 350, yeah.
Yeah, it's a small spreader.
The thing's a little dump truck.
They said they have no use for it, so. Before we do, I'll talk to Dale before we do anything, but, Dale said the same thing. He has no use for it. They don't use it because Billy's truck has a big spreader in it. All the trucks have current spreaders in them, so.
And would there be any reason why one of the ones in the current trucks might break and they need like
The little one.
to hold them over till you get a new one that?
I think that the one truck that, the one spreader that they're talking about keeping, if one of them was to go, that would probably be the one that they could replace.
Okay, so they're gonna have a spare.
So they'd have a spare on.
On top,
the one
okay.
truck.
Right.
Open house. We're toying with the idea of having an open house in the spring. Clean up the parking lots, get the trucks out. Did you talk to the fire department?
I talked to East Shelby and Shelby, explained to them that we wanted to do an open house for the residents of the town of Shelby so they could come in and look at the equipment. Any of the board members that wanted to be there could be there to answer questions. The highway guys could be there, at least one of them or something, to talk about trucks. The fire company said they'd be glad to come down with a vehicle and a crew and explain anything that the kids wanted or people wanted to know. I thought that would be a good idea to have the fire companies involved. I really kind of think it's a good idea to have it open house so the people could come around and see what's going on.
Walk through the building, walk through the garage. I checked with the insurance. Insurance says we can do it.
Who was our insurance company?
That I don't know.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I got an email from them saying we're covered on that if we wanna do it.
Could you look that up so we, have the name?
Yeah, I'll send you the email. I'll forward you guys the email.
Wouldn't be Tompkins, wouldn't it, or?
They might be your broker, but I'm not,
Yeah, well, yeah, they might be the.
They might-
broker,
they might not be the
Actual
actual
insurance.
insured.
Yeah, cause that was Kathy's first question. Check with your insurance, see if you can do it. Check with
Uh-huh.
insurance. They said, yes, you can do it. We recommend you do waivers, but you don't have to do waivers. So I told Kathy that today. She goes, well, then you're covered, you know. You're good as far as legal's concerned.
And I thought that if, somebody was here from the highway department or something and somebody wanted to look in the truck, they could help them in and out of the truck and make sure that try to take care, like
Yep.
we showed you there, so.
Yep.
So I thought that was a good idea for the fire company. They could have, our guys or somebody could be here.
Are you guys good with that, an open house? Yeah? You think it's a good idea or no?
I like it.
Eddie?
Yeah, as long as we're covered, liable, you know.
Yeah.
Don't wanna,
That's good.
Absolutely.
When do you think? May, June?
Well, let's get a little chance to warm up, probably in June maybe. I don't know, it could be the end of May, I don't know.
May.
you know, this would be off work hours, like on a Saturday
It'd be
or
a
Sunday.
Yeah, it'd be a Saturday,
Yeah. So.
maybe from noon to 2, something like that.
You're probably gonna have better weather,
In June?
a chance of better weather in June than you
Yeah.
would in May, but.
But like, it doesn't have to be an all-day affair, you know.
Mhm.
Couple
Noon to
hours.
2, noon to 3, something of that nature.
Mhm.
Put out a thing on our website and maybe on Facebook for the town of Shelby, people come in and check it out.
Mhm.
Ask questions or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
Well, 8th, 19th, 15th, 22nd, or 29th. Saturdays. Actually, we have 5 Saturdays. The first is a Saturday also.
The last one
I
might be
think
close
June
to the
6th or
4th.
something like that, something.
29th is too close, okay.
That's what I'm thinking, people,
How about, is Flag Day a holiday?
not for me.
Is Flag Day a holiday? Does anybody know? I don't know if Flag Day is
As
a
far as
holiday.
I know it is, I don't know.
Just observe it.
So the 8th, 15th, or 22nd. Those are all Saturdays in June, so pick a day. You got anything going on special?
June 8th?
Hmm?
Yeah, I'm booked on June 8th.
You wanna check with the fire companies and see what they think, since who knows whether they have stuff
I don't
going
think- I just did it with ours, and I don't think there's anything there.
on? Okay.
But East Shelby, I can check with Debbie and I can check with Dave Bowden to find out for sure.
So I'm just thinking, if you're looking for them to come, it might make sense to be sure they're available if.
Well, maybe we could do it on the second week in June, and
Let's put a tentative on the 15th.
10th or 15th.
15th of June, make a tentative date.
That way I'll check with them too. I got a fire meeting Monday night, so I'll check with them.
Noon to 2 or noon to 3? What do you think? You guys care?
No.
Yeah.
Your spearhead.
3, noon to 3.
Noon to 3.
That gives people a little bit more time than,
12 p.m. 3 p.m. Okay, June 15th, 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. open house. Got it in the calendar. Tentative, depending on East Shelby. Shelby's good with it, we're just checking on East Shelby. Burial, water, stamp plant, equipment. That's everything.
Audit,
Audit's
Where are we
done,
with
he's
it?
doing his report.
both years are done, 22 and 23?
23 hasn't started yet. He actually just had me do paperwork for an extension. So Miranda closed out 23 today with Williamson. Actually, Williamson, the accountant, and Miranda closed out 23.
What about the year-end adjusting entries?
It's not done yet till they close it out, and all they're gonna do is zero out the books. Uh, we're not moving any funds, so they're just gonna zero out the books. We were waiting on the accountant to get done with everything. Once he said it was good to go, that's when they started doing it.
So they're working on 23 now?
He
She-
should be now.
So when do they have an idea of when they expect those?
His audit to be done. I have no idea. He hasn't told me. He has no idea either.
So is he gonna come and present 22 then?
Yeah,
Now?
as soon as, Kathy asked me that today. I have to call them and see if they want to present them together or separately. And I have to talk to actually one of the partners at the firm, because the accountant won't do it. He said, it's not my job. It has to be the partner to do it. I said, okay. So,
At one time, we spoke about possibly going out to bid. Can we do that for an audit firm? These guys just seem to take, I mean, if we're supposed to have it done within 60 days at the end of the year, and we're 14 months later just getting our 22 one done, 23 hasn't started yet, we've missed that deadline. And I can appreciate the fact that they're short-staffed, but I know there are firms in Buffalo that do municipal audits. So I think it's worth at least going out and interviewing a couple other other organizations to see. I mean, I think we can put something on our website that there's an open bid. I know the village just did theirs, and I'm sure Jada has like a form that she used, like a questionnaire that we could use, modify if we need to, and see what kind of a response we get. I just think it's way too long to wait. If there's any issues, you're a year and a half later finding out about them. I mean, you've gone a whole nother year now that you could possibly have the same issue.
okay, I'll ask, I'll check on that. What was I just thought of something. Bids are out for lawn mowing. Bids are out for the new cleaning contract. I think Darlene set the date for March 18th for the bids. I don't remember exactly what she did. She told me. But we'll have probably 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning meeting where she opens the bids. We have to have a meeting when the bids are open. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No.
We have to have, the board has to be, three of us have to be present. She opens the bids. She opens the sealed bids.
Oh, you're
and
saying
presents
she
them to us.
physically
Yeah.
looks at them?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a 10-minute meeting.
Did we change the bid sheet for the lawn mowing, or did we leave it as it was?
No, we sent it to the lawyers and they said leave it just like it is with the insurance requirements and everything. So, and the same thing with the cleaning contract. They said, they went over it, said you have to, these are the requirements you have to have in there for the municipal bids. So, okay. But what we don't have to do is we don't have to advertise. State law, we have an option to renew the bids for 3 years once we assign a bid. We don't have to re-advertise. We can renew the bid for 3 years after the initial bid.
Yeah, because we were looking into that before.
Yeah, with the original lawn mowing people, yeah. So,
Can you, what do they mow?
all the cemeteries.
Just the cemeteries, not like the sides of the roads. That's done by
Our guys.
our guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Our guys mow the fire halls and ball fields, the water vault. I think they mow the tower. They still mow the tower.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah.
And
How
along our
about,
bids go out to all the cemeteries.
how about that situation we got on Furnace Parkway? Maybe think
Oh yeah.
That's our guys.
They're gonna do
Our
that.
guys.
Our guys
you guys are gonna cover that. Our guys,
Yeah.
That's already been addressed.
Yeah.
No, you mentioned something about we're gonna be painting the building out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Well, we started doing that last year, remember it? When we got,
Yeah, were we, did we put a bid out for that at all? No.
we did, I don't remember what we got back. We'll rebid it again.
Yeah,
I know it was like 50 or 60 grand to scrape and paint the building. So,
That's
and
just
I think there's an issue with putting the, BOCES kids up in,
The issue was insurance.
insurance, yeah, putting the kids up in the lifts to scrape the building.
Didn't matter if it was we tried to get the correction people to bring down. We tried to get them to paint it. We tried to get, was it the Job Corps?
Job Corps, yeah.
They wouldn't do it because of, in case there was somebody fell or something
Yeah.
for the insurance. So, you know,
No, they're just gonna paint the back, or, cause most of the front is all brick, isn't it, or?
Yeah, but that's all, if you look out front, especially this whole half of the building, the paint's peeling off in big sheets, so it's gonna have to be scraped and,
The trim you're talking about on the
The
stucco,
trim?
the stucco in the front is just basically trim, but in the back it's on.
yeah, when we saw when we went out there,
Yeah.
that it was
Yeah.
coming off the brick in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you and I went that tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same stuff that's out front.
So we're gonna paint the brick and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's peeling off like,
I don't know who would do it. The only one I even know of is that panic coating, but I'm sure that if you put it out to bid, there's probably people.
Craig Royal also, I would think, would bid.
Okay, so there you go. You got somebody else.
Where do we get the funds for that?
it's ARPA funds.
Oh, yeah, there's, how's the ARPA report?
Yeah, the status.
That
Oh.
was, well, that was on the table, you didn't look at them when you were here for the board meeting last?
Oh, I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah, they were on the table. The ones that John wants, we're finishing those up. See, because we got the supervisor's report. I asked Miranda about it today. She goes, as soon as I get done with the supervisor's report, and Darlene's not here to put it on the website. So as soon as Darlene gets back.
What's the difference between the report,
Yeah, we looked at.
well, I don't remember looking at one, but if
No.
there was one, I didn't realize what I was looking at.
No,
So
it was
that
on the
versus-
table. You guys never grabbed
Oh, I
the
didn't come
folder.
in here.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between that report and the one that you're saying that John wants? Is it just not a listing of where the funds were
It'll
spent?
be all the board votes, what was spent and what it was spent on to the company.
And how
Well,
much,
go ahead.
sorry, you can go ahead.
I thought the ARPA, that we didn't need to put did have to be voted on by the board.
It does. It has to be approved by the board. Every bit of money that was spent out of ARPA, it's in the record of a board.
How much did we get on ARPA?
Do you
roughly?
remember? Was it 400?
I'm not sure. I didn't think it was 400,000, but maybe.
So there's receipts for every,
Oh yeah.
everything
you
that
guys
was
voted
spent.
on. Because we only voted on one thing since I've been here, right?
Well, we had
The-
the generator.
That was before me.
That was before you, but that came out of the ARPA fund.
Yeah.
And then
There's
parking lot.
There's invoices and receipts for everything because the government requires us to have that for each. Any money that's spent out of that fund has to be a board vote and there has to be receipts for and invoices. And that's all in ARPA's in its own separate account also. That's one of the requirements. I think there's 106, 108. I don't know the exact amount.
Now that's gotta be spent by end of the year, I think.
It's got to be allocated, but it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be spent for another year. So whatever we get for painting the building, whatever's left over, then we can figure out what else we need to use.
Like when we put the new rugs in and did all that.
Yeah,
That all come out of the ARPA money.
the carpet and the parking lot, I was in on that vote. All the rest of the votes were you
Mhm.
guys before Schiffer and I came in. You guys voted on Darlene's wall, that came out of ARPA funds, so. All right,
Oh, one more thing, sorry. So for next week's board meeting, the invoices, will we have the, financial report there?
yeah,
We
you should
review
have,
so it'll be a list of all the expense accounts. It should,
talking to supervisor's report.
no. A list of all the, accounts in your budget,
Mhm.
an actual of what we've spent to date, what
It's
the
on
budget,
supervisor's report. up to date.
Not the supervisor report. Maybe I'm misunderstanding, the one that we see at the meeting is not listed by individual accounts. I'm not talking bank accounts. I'm talking like expense accounts. So we need to be able to confirm that the amount of money being spent on on the line items that are being called out on those claim vouchers, that there's money on that line item still available. So it should be a list of every general ledger account number with what the budget line is, how much has been spent so far, and then what the balance is, so that as we're looking at
Supervisor
claims.
report does that.
That's not the one we get in our meeting, though. We get just a total that says how much is in the A fund or trust and agency, or
Yeah.
that's not a detail of every account.
That's all the accounts we have, yeah. You want each individual account, 100, 200, 400, 600.
Every single line you budget for we have to have a report that says every line that's budgeted for. So that as we're looking at saying this is where they're gonna charge this money to, that there's money on that line available.
Okay. Let's see if Williamson puts that out. We're covering the vouchers for Darlene this month because she's on vacation, but they've been handed back to Darlene. That's her responsibility. So she's taking them back over. But she went on vacation, asked me to cover them for her, so we'll do them. We're going to do them this month.
What she's taking back over?
Vouchers and bills.
Yeah.
She's required by law to do the vouchers and the abstract. The abstract comes to us. We approve the bills. The bills go to the bookkeeper. She cuts the checks. I have to verify the checks with vouchers, and then either Darlene or Steve co-sign the checks. Darlene usually does.
So then will the invoices also will we start putting them out for the public if they wanna come in prior to the meeting and look at them?
I don't see why not, but that's, yeah.
So who will ask Darlene to do that? I'm happy to make that request of her, or.
Yeah, you can ask Darlene. I don't think.
I know Skip said
Does
he
the
put them
board-
like in a
Yeah.
ringed binder that you could.
Copies of them, you mean? Because they can't see the whole bills. Because they can see the bills, but it has to be sanitized before they can see account numbers and stuff.
Yeah,
That's a privacy thing.
I don't remember what he
So-
said. I thought he said that we came in and looked at them and then they were there. I don't remember him saying that he
I'll
did anything
find out.
different to them.
Whatever we got to do to make them available for
Okay.
people, I'll find out.
Did you hear anything back from the electric?
No, I gotta call her again. She hasn't got back to me.
Tell them we want interest in our money.
Yeah, our electric bill's
That's
still the
right.
same. Hasn't changed with the LED light.
I'll get a hold of her this tomorrow or,
They're supposed to be cutting us a check too, right?
yeah, that's what she said, yeah. She sent me an email. I'll show that to you last meeting.
Alrighty. Anything else?
I went with Dan to do the tour of the town for the cleanup. We've finished doing the east side. Dan's on vacation at this time. He will be taking care of the sightings and for the people that are in violation. But I believe he said he wanted to do that when he came back, so he could be here to address the people with their complaints or requests and stuff. When he gets back, we're gonna finish up the west side. So that, and then he'll go on with that and everything can be compliant with the town cleanup.
And he has a list he's gonna give us?
He has a list.
Okay.
Oh, I just remembered the county approved the rezoning of the trucking company in Sanborn.
And Sanderson.
Sanderson, yeah, Sanderson. The only thing they recommended, I guess there's a little parcel that's next to that. They said that should be rezoned also. So I told Kirk and the planning board about it. I said, whatever you guys recommend, I'm sure the board will do, but, it's up to you guys. You're the planning board.
Is that on the east side of it or the west side?
I think it's the opposite side of 31 is what, so that would be the south side, right?
Oh, going down the escarpment then, towards 31.
Yeah, there's a little, because they've got a driveway that runs down through there to 31.
Okay, then that's what he was talking about, all right.
So from the building down the escarpment down to 31 there.
Okay, I was confused on what he was talking about. All right, now I understand. But I told them last night when they had their meeting, hey, tell us what you want to do, what you think we need to do. If you want to leave it the way it is, leave it the way it is, but.
Did you hear anything more from, I don't remember who it was, the real estate developer there, the real estate agent, about the
No,
Oh,
men
next
who
to,
there behind?
next to tops.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything else about that.
Okay. Think of his name.
Tuesday, can you guys meet here at 6? Kathy's gonna give us a legal briefing. She told me to let you guys know before the board meeting.
Is that like, it's like an executive session or what would it be?
No, we can meet with the lawyer for legal advice, and that's not considered a public meeting. And it's not an executive session, it's legal advice from your attorney.
Yeah, could you find out what the total was we got for ARPA?
Yeah.
Altogether? I'd like to know what that was, number was.
You don't remember what it was, Steve? No, okay. Okay. Jeff, you got anything?
Just that Eddie and I finished the Justice Court Records audit. He's great, went into great detail, Ed did.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
he went through the checklist and everything that was on there, we knocked it off.
Yeah.
Everything was kosher with that?
Yep.
Everything was good to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got duplication of everything. I mean, everything's
Yep.
duplicated and backup, so,
The backup to the backup.
yeah. We have to vote, do we have to vote that, to approve this or at the meeting or no?
I thought that was on our agenda.
Yeah, I thought I saw it.
Yeah.
I think Darren put that in there. The court got awarded, $7,000 some dollars to replace the seating in the court. They either have to use it all, or we have to pay it back. So they're gonna buy 84 chairs, that'll use up all their money, but it's gonna cost us, I think, $150 to complete the order. But
Where-
that'll come out of building funds.
Where'd the money come from?
That's a grant. They applied for a grant, Stacy applied for a grant to replace all the chairs and got funded for it, so that's a good thing. So that'll come out of building funds, that's not $150 some dollars to complete the order. That way we don't have to pay back anything. If we use it all and use our own money too, the 150, we're covered. There's no payback on that grant. It becomes a whole grant. And that was everything I had. You got anything, Steve?
Nope.
Will you get us an answer on the audits by next week's meeting? Like, will you talk
I
to
should have.
Allied by then?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Should have that.
Ed?
No, I'm good.
You good, Jeff?
I'm all good.
All right, that's good. All right, thanks, everyone.
Gotta make a motion.
No, we don't have to workshop.
Okay.
I'm here if anyone's got questions.